Hola tribe, welcome to the House of Kai. Today we will be doing our Oracle Medicine read, and it is for December 3rd. So if you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more readings, as well as breath facilitation, corrective movement therapy, and various other advisories. I enjoy readings. This is something I do for myself because I love the stories that unfold. I love the information that comes forward through the cards and the visual art. I laugh because it's so separate from the work I do on a regular basis. I mean, I dabble in it with some clients, yet the work I do on a regular basis is the movement therapy and breath facilitation, bringing people through different states of consciousness through breath and through correcting their structural body, so injuries in one's body. Your body is a story. I'm a storyteller. That's the best way to say it. I read stories, and so when working with clients, I read their story through their structural body, and I teach them how to heal it through specific movements as well as breath. And in doing so, we free ourselves from problems and issues and limitations and all sorts of great stuff. So funny, so funny. It is something I have to just accept of being a storyteller, right? That's all I do. I tell people I'm a decoder. I decode, right? So I decode energy and information. That's it. It's pretty powerful stuff, though. It's really, really powerful stuff. I'm so blessed to do what I do. I am beyond blessed to do what I do. It is the coolest work in the world to help people free themselves of limitations that they've maybe had their whole entire life. Some short-term, some long-term, and gaining access and freedom to things that they never knew they could. It is so powerful. I witness miracles regularly. It's so freaking amazing. All right, so what do we got today? Ooh, renewal. Wow, I'm noticing how the woman is looking at this image over here. And it's difficult to see through the light, yet it's almost like an identical image is on her cheek. So she's looking as if it's like a portal of a telescope. You know what I mean? Like she's looking through the image of an image. And I don't think this light's going to do it. There's like this little image on her cheek right here that she's looking at, yet it mimics this image over here for me, which very much looks like a kaleidoscope. I often say that if we allowed ourselves to perceive other beings through the image of a kaleidoscope, as if every time I'm engaging with somebody, instead of, finding a disharmony or a disagreement with somebody, that if I allow myself to just change the kaleidoscope, and I think my third eye is a kaleidoscope, that's how I look at it. So if I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, oh, I just can't, I'm struggling, you know what I mean? I'm struggling. I don't know how to make this, like, they want to fight me, or they want to fight an argument, or they just, there's an energy of discord. I can, when you're in those moments, how do we change that? And what I often do is I change the kaleidoscope. I allow myself to play a game, and I go, oh, okay, well, what view am I looking at them at? And then all of a sudden I go, do they need more blue? Do they need more orange? Do they need more red? And I find a color that all of a sudden, it's like the energy changes. and how I'm perceiving them changes. And no longer am I creating an energy against them that makes them want to fight me. I just like, oh, okay, that's fine. I don't need to argue a fact because they believe what they believe. I'm not gonna fight them on it. I'm not most likely not gonna change their opinion, all I can do is offer them mine, and if that doesn't bring them an awakening, then that's okay too, however, I would rather perceive through harmony. So we are in a very potent time of renewal, and in that renewal, what I'm getting is that it is time for us to start bringing more peace and harmony within our day-to-day, within our environment, within our engagements with loved ones. It is no longer about this fight struggle, because that's what the old paradigm wanted. That's what they wanted for us. They truly wanted dropping cards, all things that we've been coming out of right now. This I don't even want to discuss it. I don't even want to bring it up because it's just so silly to me that it was a way of creating a civil war. It was a way of getting people to battle each other rather than respect each other. I'm an anti-mask wearer. I'll be completely honest. I'm an anti-mask wearer, and it's not because I want to insult anyone. I just don't think it's doing anyone any good. That's my belief. However, I respect people. I'll wear it in certain situations. I call it playing the game, because the people in the environment they are demanding and requiring a level of what they perceive respect is. And in order to keep the peace, what's the difficulty in me wearing a mask every once in a while? Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's like, that's me respecting me. I choose not to wear one because it's respecting of myself in that moment, and I'm okay with it. I don't believe everyone's going to think the same as me. I know there are a lot of anti-mask wearers. I have a lot of friends who are. And then I have a lot of friends that, I know a lot of people that feel comfort in it. They feel a sense of comfort, and why should I ever take that away from them? It's not about keeping people in a state of fear. It's keeping them in a state of peace. The mask brings me fear. Not wearing the mask brings me peace. So people can get mad at me all day for me wanting to do what brings me peace, but it brings me peace. You know what I mean? I'm willing to respect another human being for what brings them peace. Can they not bring respect to me? Now, why do I say all of this? Because it's happening all the time. It's happening all the time. And so what can we do in this new renewal that we're all walking into that can bring harmony and peace without having to lose ourselves? Okay, hold on 1 second, excuse me. I apologize, my allergies have been fierce. So what can we do to stand in our own personal power, as well as respect all others? I don't have to be right. I'm okay with being wrong. I think that's the big piece. Are you okay with being wrong? Are the people in your environment okay with being wrong? Or are they forcing their opinions and fighting for what they believe is right because it makes them feel in a place of power? So as we move through, it's about changing our perceptions. And allowing each being to be in their own personal place of power. It really is. So let's see next card. Oh my. I am getting two different cards here. Divine might foretold. Isn't that just stunning? It's an elk. El-Haz. Number 31, El-Haz. Divine might foretold. Absolutely beautiful colors and energy from this card. And then we look at Medicine Horse, progress on the path. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know, this renewal is really like a hard reboot. It is time for us to go through this like hard reboot so that we can come out the other side. So we can come out more knowledgeable, we can come out more understanding of each other. It is not about us compromising our integrity. And what is your integrity rooted in? Is it integrity of ego or is it integrity of love? The renewal is about rerooting yourself in love. If you're showing up from a place of ego, believing that you are greater than another human being, then that's where you're weakened, right? When somebody tries to tell you that they're big and bad, or that they're more powerful than you, or that they know more than you, oftentimes it's because they themselves feel weak. It's inappropriate to speak the way they do. However, it's rooted in fear. It's not rooted in love. And so this new hard reboot that we're going through is the renewal as we take our steps forward on the path. And it's saying that, you know, we are strong enough. We are more than strong enough to move forward on this path. Whew. And, you know, as I say it, this fear shows up in my heart because, you know, there's so many of us are like, you know that phrase of like, just, you know, it's just me though. It's just, how can one person make a change? Because you're not just one person. You're not just one person. Your life impacts many lives, regardless if it's linked to your family, your friends, your business. It doesn't matter. One human being impacts many, many lives. You know, on this journey, I've been so blessed. I've worked with thousands of people, and I have had more family members of a client come to me, randomly meet me, whether it be days after I've worked with somebody, years after I've worked with somebody, and literally stop in their tracks and thank me that the energy that I provided their partner, their family member, whoever it was, they had a remembrance of the energy that I helped co-create a change in this person's life. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, you don't even know the impact you have on one person, one phrase. And that one impact created shockwaves in everyone else. And this would happen to me time and time again. And each and every time it blew my mind. It absolutely would blow my mind to see and witness how the ripple effect would affect not just one person, but it affected each person in that family. So powerful. So powerful. So the fear in my heart of, you know, the experience of like, well, how am I going to do that? I already know how I do that. Create a shockwave in every moment that you can. Offer love all the time. Simply be vulnerable to offer kindness to another human being. Not because you have something to gain, not because you even acknowledge that you're offering them kindness, just simply be kind, right? You know, in my greatest depressions in life, I've had a couple of episodes in my life where I had some severe depression, and what has gotten me out was realizing that I may have felt depressed, but the people around me really looked depressed. They looked more depressed than what I felt, and I thought that was shocking to me. So was like, shoot, man, if they look like that and I feel like this, I wonder if I can bring them some joy in their day. I wonder if I can engage them in a conversation. I wonder if I can compliment their dress or something. It is the gift of giving that gave me the opportunity to become free of my own depressions. Witnessing other people smile. Right? Witnessing another human being giggle or laugh or simply enjoy the moment with you. It is a precious gift. It is a precious, precious gift. Excuse me. So this renewal energy, moving forward within the path with the strength that we have, so powerful. We are, oh wow. As I cut the deck, we'll see if these two cards come up again, but we have wholeness and promise of the future. Just saying, those are pretty lovely cards to cut a deck with. Moving forward on this path, clearing through dense energy that it's just a lie. It's just lies we tell ourselves, you know. It's so funny. So today alone with the congestion and I had some issues in the body this week that limited my movement, and so I'm feeling dense, right? My guts, my belly feels dense today, and I can tell you all the sneezing and everything else, I'm inflamed, and I feel that way. I just feel like, meh, you know what I mean? Like that denser energy. And my ego shows up and was like, oh God, you've gained weight. And I stop and instead of drinking the poison of what I heard, I laughed and I went, no, that's in fact a lie. I may be bloated, I may be a little inflamed, but I've not actually gained weight. I've not gained a density that I cannot shed within a day or two of just getting the inflammation out of my body. I may feel heavy in the abdominals. I may feel a little blocked, but that doesn't mean I've gained weight. So, when those kinds of voices come up, it's a way of trying to stop us from being present with ourselves and feed us dense vibration, right? Feed us lies. And it's up to us to know the difference, right? Do you want to feel like crap about yourself? I mean, it's a choice. Do you want to feel like crap about yourself, or do you want to feel good about yourself? How do you choose to feel about yourself? And it's not about lying to yourself. I didn't lie to myself. I didn't immediately cancel. I was like, no, I'm not. I didn't become a bratty child and argue it or yell at it. I simply laughed and acknowledged that. I was like, okay, I hear you. I hear that we feel, dense and heavier, and that doesn't make me feel good about myself, but I know I didn't gain any weight. Knowing in fact that I've lost weight, you know what I mean? Like, with everything going on, that it's like, no, we're good. So, being able to be present with ourselves and know the difference, have enough discernment to know the difference, because in this rebirthing process, we don't want to take those old patterns with us. We want to clear them out. And that is most certainly an old pattern of mine, okay? Those that know me know that I've lost an exuberant amount of weight naturally over a series of years. And so knowing that, sometimes you can feel a little bit more heavy than others, yet I've done so much work on clearing that pattern. But it's still going to come up because my ego, it's still a weak, it's really not a weak spot in the ego anymore because I'm thrilled with who I am and where I am. Yet the ego still will try. It'll still try to fool you into believing that you're, unworthy of God's love. That's all the ego is trying to do. It's trying to tell you that you're unworthy of God's love, right? All right, so Ganusha. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. Huh. Okay. Oh, I love it. So we have spiritual practice and wholeness. Right. I think we got this card for yesterday too. And I've shuffled a whole big bunch. So, knowing oneself. It really is coming into knowing oneself. This new path of renewal has everything to do with owning the divinity within ourselves, right? Staying very focused on who we are as an individual being, and not allowing this distortion to enter our systems because it's just an illusion, right? It is owning the divinity within us. It is this strength and divinity within us and continuing to move forward. And again, this card just reminds me of it's like a meditation, right? Being present with one self. Coming into wholeness, continuing our spiritual practice, whatever that is. Everyone's spiritual practice is different. It doesn't have to be a silent meditation. It can be a moving meditation. It can be a breathing meditation. It can be a visual meditation. We all get there on our own way. It is good to transition and shake it up some and try different alternative ways of experiencing our personal meditation style. I laugh with it, but I like a good sandbag. I like sandbags when I meditate. It's very grounding for me. And so not everyone would like that same kind of practice, but it works for me. So what works for you? What works for you? Learning what that is, I invite you to walk and simply speak with God. Turn inward and start to have a conversation. And here's the thing, just because you've called on the energy of God does not mean that you're tapping in specifically to God. Be very specific. Be very specific. Divine Creator, universal flow. Be very specific in what you're calling on. And allow yourself to feel what that feels like. I just had a conversation with a family member the other day, and I had said to them, I said, you really need to ground down and talk to Father. This is what you're going through. You need Father's energy. And I said, I know that in their personal practice, this family member's personal practice, they like to call for Jesus. And I have no opposition to that. I think that's beautiful. However, I knew that they weren't getting where they needed to, that they needed to go higher. They needed to go to the original seed. Jesus is a beautiful prophet energy, yet there is nothing higher and more powerful than the original seed of creation. And when I said this to them, they said, that's what they've been doing actually, that yes, they do still speak with Jesus, but they've been calling on Father's energy. And it was really powerful and potent because they said they actually have determined there's a pattern that happens when they're actually connected with Father's energy. Something happens inside of their body very specifically, and that's how they know that they're talking with the appropriate energy, versus other times when they're talking to Father and this one thing doesn't happen, they know that they're not really connected and the message isn't making its way through. And they said it's every time this one thing happens when they're praying, they know. And they said the energy is different, their presence is different, everything has shifted. But if this one sign doesn't come through, they know that they're actually not communicating with the Father, that it's not that higher power. So it's determining what you know to be true and your pathway to it, right? That's very, very, very important. All right, so let's see. For today's reading for December 3rd, 2020, our last card here. What else does the collective need to know? This renewal, rebirthing, this new spiritual practice. Oh, absolutely a time of healing. Absolutely a time of healing. Sister's healing. I love that. You look at all these dolphins, this light coming through her crown. Dolphins. This is the dodecahedron of the sacred geometry moving through. And I just, what an interesting, from renewal to healing here. The colors. Can you see the mimicking energy? Yeah. This card right here is keeping focus on the things that are outside of us. And this one right here is keeping focus on the things that are inside of us. And that is absolutely coming into wholeness of our spiritual practice, right? Absolutely. That which we're experiencing outside of us has everything to do with what's going on inside of you. And so finding your own personal spiritual practice that works for you. Each one of us is going to do something different. Each one of us does require a different medicine of spiritual practice for our own personal healing. Yeah. So I'll give you some examples. Simply sitting and breathing. Just, can you sit and breathe? Even 20 breaths focused. Without judgment. And it's going to happen, but can you acknowledge that? Maybe going for a walking meditation where you're very focused on each and every step. Maybe simply doing a meditation where all you're doing is humming and toning, making sounds. Your body is a musical instrument, so simply making sound vibration is extremely meditative and healing for your being. And acknowledging how those sounds feel inside of your body while you're doing it. Coloring. Coloring is a wonderful meditation. Some sort of repetitive creative arts. What a beautiful meditation that is. It really does drop you in. It does drop you in. So finding oneself is a spiritual practice. It'll be key as we do this hard reboot of where we are going. I'm really getting this. I'm going to read this card actually today. I'm going to read this card. Sister Healing. Here we go. Sister's Healing, Namaka. Dear sister, my arms are open. I welcome you back. I feel peace in your heart. letting go of rage and lack. We are one, you and I. We come from the sky, on a mission, a love of transmission. Pele, the Hawaiian volcano goddess, element is fire. Her sea goddess sister is water. They represent the two seemingly eternal enemies, fire and water. As a result of jealousy, of rage, Pele and her sister became the bittersweet of enemies, fighting against each other with stormy floods and violent volcanic destructions. The intention created in this painting was to heal the jealous competitive myth between the sisters, showing the higher relationship between fire and water, and directing the healing into universe for all women. In the painting you see Namaka, the crown she wears is a glowing sun, a symbolic heart offering from Pele. She is smiling, for the pain between the sisters has been forgiven. The dolphins and the whale breach in glee, knowing this healing has occurred. Long ago, unified oneness was a way of life, with male and female. We communicated from the sacred space within our hearts, without projections. But things changed. We came to believe that we were separate from each other and God. Rage not at the darkness in your sisters, for it is this self which is you that has been denied. Love and forgive her with your whole heart. The matriarchal balance is returning full spiral. It is time women transform their shadow within so as to truly own the goddess power in its fullness. Women are sisters, the chalice of life, giving birth. Women unified with one another are powerful beyond imagination. It is time for all to take this stance. Time to end competition, war, jealousy, and division of every sort, for men and women alike. Whether you are male or female, you are invited to express your emotions in a more kind-hearted way. Soften your heart and relationships with the feminine to help bring about your sister's healing. As you do this, you're healing your inner feminine as well. A myriad of hurts between women for many lives. Wow, that was beautiful. We are really in this hard reboot. And as I started this story time of looking through the eyes of a kaleidoscope, when we allow ourselves to see things differently, to present a different vibration, it's not that you're changing who you are. You are who you are. You're changing your perception of it. You're allowing yourself to receive and give from a different vibration. That is what creates healing within us. That is the unified bridge. Thank you for joining me. If you have any further questions or any I can do for service, please contact me. To our renewal. Peace out, tribe.